Hello, this is a demonstration video of an application called Niigata Assirobo and how it uses OAuth2 authentication to send and receive Gmails, as well as the grant process that a user would go through to grant this application the authority to send and receive Gmails on the user's behalf. And to provide some context about this application, Niigata Assirobo is an RPA program, which means its purpose is to automate the daily desktop activities of its users, which may include, for example, running applications, manipulating Excel spreadsheets, and of course, sending and receiving emails, which includes Gmails. Now, to automate sending and receiving Gmails, the user has to go through the OAuth2 grant process, so I would like to demonstrate that now. To start the grant process, the user would click this menu button here on the top right, and click here OAuth2 Management, and go ahead and add an account that they would like to authorize usage for. And here, in this case, we want to authorize a Gmail account, so the user would click this Authorize App button, which would automatically boot up their default browser. And this will start the grant process. Now here I'm going to change the language to English real quick. Right? So here the user can check, here is the name of the application, here is the client ID, and the user can go ahead and log in to the account that they want to authorize. So now I've just logged in, and here is a notice saying that the user is about to grant Niigata Assirobo those permissions, which includes reading, composing, and sending emails from their Gmail account. So if the user is okay with this, they would go ahead and click Allow, and here is the final confirmation. Now here, the user can also check the terms of service of this application, as well as the privacy policy here. And here in the privacy policy, the user can see that this application does include use Gmail, but only for the purposes of automating sending and receiving Gmails. And it adheres to the limited use policy, and here's a link to said policies. And if the user is okay with all of this, they can go ahead and click Allow. And here is the authorization code. So the user can go ahead and click this, and copy this string, and go ahead and paste it back in the Niigata Assirobo screen. And once again, type in the account that they want to authorize and click Register. And that was the grant process. So now the user has just granted Niigata Assirobo the authority to send and receive Gmails for the user using this email address. Right. So now I would like to demonstrate the functionality within Niigata Assirobo which requires those privileges. Now, Niigata Assirobo is a desktop task automation program. So now I'm going to create a new task to automate, and it's going to be called Send Gmail. And enter the edit screen. And here is where I can construct the automation task. Now here on the left side of the screen is a list of the different commands that the user can make this application do. For example, running applications. Here, the user can open, move, and create files and folders. And here is the emails. So the user can go ahead and click Send Gmail, which is the command used for sending Gmails using the Gmail API. By clicking on this, the user can type in the credentials. In this case, the user would like to use this email account that we just registered, and let's send ourselves an email. and the subject can be send Gmail, and the body can be testing. And we will not be sending attachments, and the user can click OK. Right? So now we have a task which does one thing, and that one thing is sending an email using Gmail using this account to this account. So let's go ahead and run this. Right, so the task has just finished. Now to make sure that this email was actually sent, let's go to gmail.com, and we can see that this email has indeed been sent to ourselves. Here is the email that we have just sent from ourselves to ourselves. Right. So that was a demonstration for sending Gmails. Now I would like to demonstrate receiving Gmails. So I'm going to create a new desktop, rather a new automation task called Receive Gmails. And click Edit. And now we have a new task. Now I'm going to first make sure that we have something to receive. So I'm going to mark this email that we just sent to ourselves as unread. Right? So we are going to read this unread email. Now, to start receiving Gmails, the user would click this button here, Receive Gmail, and I would like to demonstrate how to use this command. Now, the user will type in the account that they want to receive Gmails with. We are not interested in attachments, and we are only interested in receiving unread emails, so we would keep this checkbox on and click OK. And I would like to talk about how this command actually works. This requires a bit of explanation. For every email that we receive, we can perform an action. So in this demonstration, I will open up Notepad, and for every email that we receive, namely for every unread email in this account, I'm going to print out its email body into Notepad. So here is the keyboard command, and I'm going to type in some text. And the text that we are going to type in is the body, which is here. This is a list of variables. This is the variable which contains the sender name, this is the receiver name, this is the subject, and here is the body. So I am going to print the body. And so now we have an automation task. Now I'm going to explain what's going to happen. First, we are going to open up Notepad. Then we are going to start receiving emails using this Gmail account. And we are only going to receive unread emails. In this case, there is only one unread email, which is the one we sent ourselves earlier. And we are going to typewrite the body of the text of the email. I'm going to run this now. First, I'll open up Notepad, and now it's reading emails, parsing it, and it just printed some text, and the text is testing, which is indeed the body of the email that we have received. Now, that was a demonstration of how Niigata Assirobo uses OAuth2 to receive emails or automate receiving emails. Now, we have demonstrated sending and receiving emails, but we also modify emails. Niigata Assirobo is capable of marking emails as read. So if the user wants to mark all read emails as read, they will check this box that says mark as read. So if we run this now, Niigata Assirobo will open up Notepad, start receiving emails, print the text, and mark this email as read. So let's go ahead and run this. Right. So now this email should be marked as read. There we go. So that was a demonstration of how Niigata Assirobo also modifies emails. In this case, we marked it as read. Now, in addition to marking emails as read, we can also set a flag. Now, the flag is this star. So Niigata Assirobo can star emails. So let's run this once again. We are going to run this automation task, which will read unread emails. And this time around, let's not mark it as read, but only set the flag. So we would uncheck this mark as read, and let's try running this. Right, and let's make sure that it's marked as, yep, there we go, it just turned yellow. So that was a demonstration of how Niigata Assirobo reads, writes, and also modifies emails, which is all included within the scope that we are applying for. Right. So there's one last feature, actually, which requires the OAuth2 authorization scope, and that is for sending notification emails. Excuse me. So I am going to set that up, and I will explain what this feature is. So I would like to set up Niigata Assirobo to send notification emails using Gmail to our email account, from our email account, and let's send notification attachments here and click apply. So now we have just set up Niigata Assirobo to send notification emails to our account using Gmail. Now I would like to explain what a notification email is in the context of our application. Niigata Assirobo is capable of scheduling what time certain tasks will be run. So for example, if we want to run a specific task, for example, if we want to send a Gmail at, let's say every day at, or let's say today at 5:40, we can click the schedule button and say we want to start this task at 17:40 today, exactly once, and click finish. So now what's going to happen is when it becomes 5:40, which is in approximately 30 seconds, Niigata Assirobo will automatically run this send Gmail task, which will send a Gmail. And once this task is done, Niigata Assirobo would also send a notification email to notify the user that this task has been run at whatever time that we have scheduled it to run. So in approximately 5 seconds. Right, so now it's running. And the scheduled task has just run. Here we can see the schedule log at 5:40, and it finished 3 seconds later. and the result was a success. So now if we check our inbox, we should see that, yes, we have a new email sent at exactly 5:40. And in addition to that, we have a notification email, which says that at 5:40, this task called Sense Gmail has been run. It ended 3 seconds later, and the result was a success. And here's an attachment saying those are the execution logs of this task. Right. So that's it for the demonstration. To go over what we have demonstrated, we demonstrated the grant process, which the user would go through to grant our application the authority to send and receive Gmails for the user. We demonstrated the features within this application, which requires the scope that we applied for, which is sending, receiving, and modifying emails. Yep. And I believe this is it for our demonstration. Thank you very much.